Okay, so I talked a little bit about the labor theory of value, the difference between exchange values, that is the money values, and the use values of what we use something for. And now we're going to talk about where does the value actually come from, okay? And Marx's idea was that value was the social necessary abstract labor embodied of a commodity. So the socially necessary abstract labor embodied in a commodity. Well, what does that mean? So if we have, let's say we have um, a, a shirt, okay? So if we have a shirt and we want to know how much our shirt costs, we can break down the individual costs into the raw materials, and the labor, okay? So it seems like we have two different costs. But if we look at these raw materials, let's say we have cotton, other raw materials we might have is the factory in which it's built, maybe our tools. Um, each of these things themselves, they were that's an L. I'll try to make that an L. Each of these things themselves were labor costs as well. So to get cotton, you had your farm worker picking the cotton and growing the cotton. So that's labor. Each of these things can be eventually, if you break them down far enough, can be broken down to labor. And so the value of anything, can be expressed as the sum of the labor. And the equation that's often advanced is C plus L equals W, where C is the raw materials. Again, if we look at the shirt, relative to the shirt, we have raw materials and labor. Remember, we said everything can be broken down into labor costs. So we have our raw material cost, material cost, and we have our L being our cost of labor, and then we have our W, which is our exchange value. That's that monetized value. Okay. And now what Marx says was that our exchange value then is the average cost of the labors embodied in the production. And so he says that, if I look at the shirt, it costs $20, then that means that there was $20 worth of labor employed in this manufacture. Okay. And he makes a point also in saying that this labor cost, this is the average cost of labor. So imagine we could somehow, one person creates a shirt. Let me change my color here, see if I can, running out of space. So let's say we have a shirt again, and I'll draw a shirt here, see if I can draw a shirt. It's my little t-shirt. Okay, so you gotta use a lot of imagination. It almost looks like it's a cross, but okay, it's a shirt. Imagine it's a shirt. So if I can make a shirt in, let's say, 1 hour, and let's say I'm the average person. Somebody else is slower. It makes takes them longer to make a shirt. It might take them 2 hours. Maybe they're a slow worker. Well, this labor cost here is not going to be the actual labor cost. If I pick one specific shirt manufacturer and he happens to spend a lot on labor, this is going to be the average cost of labor for everybody. So if this factory here is these guys here really don't do very well, they still have to pay the average. So even if everybody else's factory is more effective, then they're not going to be able to charge more just because their factory costs a little bit more.